Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into The Secret of Abhor Valley by Talbot Mundy today. You've all sent over these excerpts, and let me tell you, this book, it's a wild ride. Yeah, it's got mystery, intrigue, and a little bit, just a touch of that mystical stuff.
Oh, it does, for sure. Even those first few pages, you just drop right into it, right? The heart of a deli club whispers everywhere about this guy, Cotswold Omni. 20 years he's been in India, turned a whole desert green, made a forest. And then, bam, resigns just like that. Makes you wonder what kind of person walks away from something like that.
Doesn't it, though? It's like he's got some bigger purpose, some secret mission. And then as we read on, it turns out, yeah, he's connected to this mission in Tilgan, shrouded in secrecy, run by Hannah Sanborn. And get this, a mysterious Tibetan trustee. I mean, come on, it's like straight out of a spy novel. Oh, and then there's this mention of another guy, Terry, vanished in the Abhor Valley years ago. What do you think? Is the Abhor Valley more than just a place in this story, like maybe a symbol for something?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's definitely a place that pulls people in, that's for sure. And not always with a happy ending. What's interesting is how this stolen piece of crystal jade, they say it has these mysterious qualities. It's like the thing that kicks off Amini's whole journey into this world of secrets, I mean.
Right, like it's a treasure hunt, but with, life or death kind of stakes. And then this letter shows up, all cryptic, mentioning the stolen jade, a missing daughter, trouble until gone. It's like Mundy's giving us these pieces of a puzzle, but not the box to see what it's supposed to be.
Totally. And we meet McGregor, Amini's contact, gives him this job, investigate the jade, right? But you can tell there's something else going on. He wants to know what happened to those Terrys who disappeared. So it's personal, mixed with this whole big mystery.
Yeah. Exactly. And then there's Chutter Chand, this jeweler in Delhi. Poor guy's caught in the middle of everything. He had the jade, but it was stolen. And then, boom, two new characters.
Oh.
This Hillman, serious guy, wants that jade back no matter what. And then there's this Tibetan Lama, Siang Samdeb. Nobody knows what he's up to.
Oh, it gets intense, right?
Oh, intense is putting it mildly. The Hillman, he walks in, just casually mentions he killed a guy with a broken wheel, spoke on the way to Delhi. I mean, whoa, right? Not playing games anymore. People are getting hurt. You can feel the tension building.
Yeah, and that knife of his, all jagged, and his temper, you just know things are about to get messy.
Right.
It's like the closer you get to this jade, the more dangerous it becomes. What do you think about the llama, though? He's connected, but we don't know how.
That's the question, isn't it? He's tied to all of this, but how deep does it go? Mundy keeps you guessing, always a step ahead, and just when you think you're starting to understand, bam, Amini is in a dark alley. This Tibetan, Dawit Sering, shows up, swinging a butcher's axe, he calls it. It's out of nowhere, violent, Amini's got to think fast. That's where you see how quick he is, how resourceful, right? Takes down Dawit Sering, ties him up, buys himself some time. We see this practical side of him, not just the philosopher we met before.
Yeah.
What do you think this violence tells us about Amini?
Good question. I think it shows he can adapt. He's not just all thought, he can act when he has to, decisive. And that courtyard he finds after, it's almost like symbolic. This hidden world he's getting pulled into where danger's around every corner.
Yeah, it's like there's this whole world beneath the surface, right?
Yeah.
And then he has this deep conversation with McGregor about life, death, all that. I mean, it's like Mundy's showing us Amini's not just a tough guy. He's a thinker,
Yeah.
wrestling with big questions.
Exactly. It's that mix of action and thinking. That's so cool. Even with all the danger, there's still room to think, to question everything.
Right. And then we meet this young woman. She is an amazing artist. There's this connection, a spark between her and Amini, like a little bit of light in all this darkness. But gotta have a twist, right? Turns out she's Elsa, Jack Terry's daughter, and Amini's niece. What a family reunion, huh?
Talk about a twist. It adds a whole other layer to everything, doesn't it? It's not just about the stolen jade anymore. It's about family, about someone lost and finding the truth.
And then right on top of that, Amini gets this coded letter. Like there's this whole secret network working behind the scenes. We've just seen the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more going on. Do you think this points to something bigger, like a conspiracy? Some secret society pulling the strings?
It definitely hints at something, that's for sure. It's way bigger than what we've seen so far. Makes you wonder, who sent it and what do they want?
And then, just when you think it can't get more complicated, Dawit Sering, the guy who tried to kill Amini, ends up joining him. I mean, come on, right? Who's on whose side anymore?
It makes you question everything. Who can you trust? Dawit Sering, he's unpredictable, volatile. Why join Amini? What's his game?
It keeps you guessing, that's for sure. And then we meet Benjamin, Amini's friend, and he drops this bomb. European girls are being smuggled north. I mean, that's dark. It puts a whole new spin on everything.
Doesn't it? Suddenly, Amani's in a tough spot, morally. His friend's involved in something awful. What do you think? Is this the real conflict of the story?
It definitely adds a whole other layer.
Yeah.
It's not just about the past anymore. It's about stopping something bad happening now. And Amani, he goes with his gut, even if it means going against his friend. Shows you he wants to do the right thing no matter what.
Yeah, it's a big moment for him, character-wise. He's not afraid to face the hard truth, even if it means questioning everything he thought he knew. And to get to the bottom of this, he goes all in, transforms himself, becomes Gupta Rao, a high-caste Brahmin, new identity, totally convincing.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's not just a disguise. He becomes this other person.
It shows how dedicated he is, resourceful, willing to do whatever it takes to find the truth. And he has helped this guy, Maitreya, a butt. Helps him navigate this whole social scene, you know? They make a good team.
An unlikely pair, but they work well together, that's for sure. And their first stop, this big party, hosted by Vasantasena. She's wealthy, powerful, mysterious.
That party is like a glimpse into this hidden world, right? It's got everything. Luxury, danger, you can feel the tension in the air. And Amani sees this exchange between Vasantasena and the Lama still lurking in the background.
Everyone's hiding something, wearing a mask, right?
Right.
And then Vasantasena drops this bomb. She got the jade from a girl who was later murdered. Suddenly, the stakes are even higher, wouldn't you say?
No kidding. The mystery just keeps getting deeper, and now we need to know who has that jade and what are they planning to do with it.
It feels like Amani's running out of time. He barely escapes this confrontation at the party. It's just getting more dangerous.
Yeah.
But even when he's captured by the Lama's men, he doesn't fight back. He's watching, waiting, gathering information, biding his time.
Shows you he's smart, thinking ahead, playing the long game. And while he's captive, he sees something strange. The Lama directing a play, all about transformation, finding yourself, you know.
It's like a play within a play, a story within a story, too much of a coincidence. Do you think there's a connection between the play and Amani's own journey?
Oh, I think there's something there, definitely. The actors wear masks, blurring the lines between real and fake, just like all the hidden identities in the story.
And the play itself, with all the philosophy and social commentary, it's about truth. The masks we wear, the consequences of our choices.
It's like Mundy's using this play to explore these big ideas, making us think about our own assumptions and how everyone has their own perspective.
And then, bam, a riot breaks out during one of the performances.
Chaos, dangerous, Amani's cover's blown, and we see a new side of the Lama, how he handles it.
It's almost like he's in control of the whole thing, using it to his advantage. Protects Amani's secret, but at the same time exposes these Brahmins, their hypocrisy. What do you make of this side of him?
It's a powerful scene, makes you think. He's a master strategist, but his methods, they're not black and white, you know? Makes you wonder, what's the cost of getting what you want? What lines are you willing to cross for the greater good?
And after all that, Amani finally starts his journey to the Abhor Valley. The heart of the mystery, right? Mundy describes it so vividly. Dangerous mountains, amazing landscapes, this feeling of being completely alone. It's more than just a physical journey, isn't it?
Definitely. It's like going down into the underworld, a symbolic journey into the unknown. And when he gets to the mission in Tulgan, he finally meets Hannah Sanborn. She tells him the truth about Jack Terry and Elsa. They're dead. Elsa's been raised by the Lama with no idea who her real parents are.
It changes everything for Amani, doesn't it? He's grieving, but he's also found this niece he never knew he had.
It's bittersweet, so many emotions all at once and this new responsibility. And the Lama, he insists on keeping Elsa's true identity a secret. Makes you wonder about his motives, right?
Yeah, is he protecting her or using her for something? And then, out of nowhere, we get this side story about Dawit Searing. He meets up with his lover and child. It's unexpected. Shows a softer side to this tough guy.
It's a human moment, you know? Reminds you that even the toughest people have love, loyalty, tenderness.
It's a nice break from all the tension and mystery. And then finally they reach the Abhor Valley itself. Mundy describes it as this mystical, beautiful place full of spiritual energy, like stepping into another dimension. Do you think it's just a place, or is it something more?
I think it's definitely more a symbol of the unknown, a place of hidden knowledge and power. It's the end of Amani's journey, the place where all the pieces come together.
And it's here, in this valley, all misty and legendary, that the Lama finally tells us about the crystal jade of Abhor. He says it's incredibly powerful, capable of amazing good, but also unimaginable destruction. It has to be protected no matter what. This changes everything, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, completely. It's not just some lost treasure anymore. We're talking about something that could change the world. And he's even thinking about flooding the caverns where it's hidden. That's how serious this is. What do you think? Is he overreacting? Or is this jade really that powerful?
I don't know, it's hard to say. But you can feel the urgency. It's not just about keeping it out of the wrong hands. It's about understanding it, what it can do, how to use it, the responsibility that comes with it. And then he leads this ritual in front of the jade. It's described as like
Ominous.
mystical, otherworldly, girls in white moving like they're in a trance. It's beautiful, but also kind of creepy. There's so much symbolism there, don't you think?
Absolutely. It makes you wonder, what is it? Worship, a way to channel the jade's power, something else entirely. Mundy doesn't give you the answers, but he definitely wants you to think about it. And then the llama says he's going to die at the hands of the Yaubars. He's accepted it. He's at peace with it. He's even made arrangements for his followers to make sure they're safe.
He's willing to sacrifice himself. It's a powerful moment, shows the depth of his character, his commitment, makes you think, martyr, manipulator, something in between.
It's a question that stays with you, even after the story's over. The llama, he's such a complex character. His motivations are never fully clear. As we go deeper into the story, this theme of masks, of hidden identities, it gets even stronger. It's not just Omni, everyone's hiding who they really are. It makes you wonder, who can you trust when everyone's playing a part?
And Amini's struggling with that throughout the whole story. You're trying to figure out what's real, who's lying. When you can't trust appearances, it's hard to know what to believe. And the play that the llama's directing, it's like a reflection of that. The actors, they represent different parts of human nature. It's about transformation, social commentary, the consequences of our actions. It goes beyond just the stage.
Oh yeah, the play within the play, it's brilliant. Mundy uses it to explore these big ideas in a way that keeps you engaged. And the llama's directing it, that adds another layer of intrigue. Is he using it to manipulate people? To achieve his own goals? Or is there a deeper meaning, a message he's trying to communicate through the play?
It's hard to say for sure, but the play affects everyone who sees it. It moves them, inspires them, makes them vulnerable. And the fact that it causes a riot, it means it's tapping into something powerful, something that threatens the way things are.
Yeah, the riot changes everything. It forces Amini to transform, to become the Sadhu. He has to face his own biases, his judgments, his limitations. It changes how he sees the world.
And the llama, how he handles the riot. It shows us he's a master strategist, using the chaos to get what he wants. Makes you wonder, is he using his wisdom for good? Or is there something darker going on?
He's a hard character to pin down, morally ambiguous. But he's definitely intelligent, charismatic, understands people. And the journey to Abhor Valley, the mountains, the landscapes, the isolation, it's like a metaphor for Amini's inner journey, you know?
It is a journey of self-discovery, facing his fears, confronting his past. The Abhor Valley, it's like a crucible, a place of transformation.
And the Abhors themselves, they represent a different way of looking at the world. Their culture, their beliefs, it's a clash between different ways of knowing, of understanding.
Yeah, it reminds you that there's not just one right way to see things. And understanding those differences, it's crucial, especially in a world like this. And it's in this valley, surrounded by this ancient culture, that the Lama finally tells us the truth about the crystal jade. It's not just a valuable artifact, it's a source of incredible power. It can be used for good or for terrible things. It has to be handled carefully, with respect.
It raises the stakes even higher, doesn't it? Makes you think about the nature of power, how to use it responsibly, what happens when it falls into the wrong hands. It seems like the Lama believes the fate of the world depends on this jade.
It's a lot to carry, that kind of responsibility. And you can see that the Lama feels it. He's willing to do anything to protect it, even sacrifice his own life. And the ritual with the girls in white, moving like they're in a trance, it's both beautiful and disturbing. What do you think it means? Reverence. Trying to control something he doesn't understand?
It's open to interpretation. It's about faith, the unknown, the dangers of messing with things beyond our understanding.
As we go on, we start to see the Lama differently. Not just a wise teacher or a manipulator. He's tragic, burdened by the past, haunted by his choices, aware of his own death. It's like he's carrying the weight of the world, trying to save humanity from itself.
He has this sadness about him, a weariness, and his decision to sacrifice himself, to protect his followers, to save Amini. It's heartbreaking, but also inspiring. Shows his compassion, his honor, his willingness to accept the consequences.
And as we learn more about this middle way, this secret network working behind the scenes, shaping events, the Lama's a key figure in it. He's a gatekeeper, a guide, a mentor.
It's a fascinating concept, isn't it? This hidden world influencing things, controlling history, secrets, ancient wisdom, people dedicated to keeping balance between good and evil. And the Lama, he knows this world, understands it. He's like a bridge between what we know and what we don't.
And it feels like he's preparing Amini for something,
Yeah.
testing him, pushing him, guiding him towards some destiny he doesn't even fully understand.
Like an initiation into a secret society, people who are dedicated to protecting the world from darkness. And then the revelation about Elsa, that she's Amini's niece, it changes everything again. It's not just about knowledge anymore. It's about family, about protecting someone he cares about, continuing a legacy.
And Amini takes on that responsibility. Even though he doesn't fully understand what it means, he's caught between these hidden forces, facing moral dilemmas.
It shows how much he's grown, his compassion, his willingness to put someone else first. And the Abhor Valley itself, it's not just a mysterious, dangerous place. It's like a microcosm of the world, all these forces fighting for control. Good and evil, progress and tradition, knowledge and ignorance.
It's where the fate of humanity is being decided. Every choice, every action, every sacrifice has consequences.
The lines between the physical and the spiritual are blurred. Ancient wisdom is guarded, and anyone who enters has to face their own demons.
And as the story reaches its climax, the Lama's final act, that ritual before the jade, it represents the choices we make, the sacrifices we offer, the consequences of our actions.
It sums up everything the story's about, doesn't it? Belief, the struggle between good and evil, responsibility, sacrifice. The Lama vanishes into the darkness, accepting his fate. It leaves you with this feeling of awe, of loss, and this need to understand what it all meant.
It's a powerful image. It stays with you. Reminds you that our choices matter, that seeking knowledge has a price. And the fight for truth, it never ends. But even though we lose the Lama, there's still hope. The Chela, standing in front of the jade as the sun rises, she calls out to Amini, and it feels like the beginning of something new.
It does, doesn't it? A new chapter, a passing of the torch. The human spirit, it endures.
It's like the valley itself is reborn, along with Amini. This a whole new beginning. It's really something. But that ending, it leaves you with so many questions, right?
Oh yeah, tons.
What about Elsa now? Thrown into a whole new world.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
She's been sheltered, protected at the mission with the Lama. Now she has to face reality, all the complications, the danger.
Going to be a big adjustment, for sure.
And what about that middle way? They're powerful, that's clear. But we still don't know their real purpose. Are they good, bad, somewhere in between?
They're a mystery, that's for sure.
And the jade, is it really gone? Or could it come back?
Good point. That jade, it represents so much power, potential, danger. What if it reappears? At some critical moment, maybe it influences Elsa's fate or even the middle way itself.
That's what's so great about this story. It makes you think. What could happen? What does it all mean? It's not just about the plot. It's the ideas, the questions, truth, identity, choices, the unknown. It all comes together. What do you think? What's the biggest takeaway from all this? From Om, The Secret of Abhor Valley.
For me, it's transformation. We see it in Amini. He becomes someone else, adapts to everything thrown at him. Elsa, too, she learns the truth about herself, has to face a whole new future. And even the Lama, he sacrifices himself for what he believes in. It leaves a mark on everyone around him.
It reminds you that change is going to happen, whether you want it to or not. And sometimes, facing your fears, going into the unknown, that's how you grow. Sometimes the biggest sacrifices lead to the most amazing changes. As we wrap up, I keep thinking about that last image, the Chela, standing before the jade, the sun rising. It's symbolic, don't you think? A new era, passing the torch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about hope, carrying on, even when things are uncertain. The human spirit, it's powerful stuff.
Well, I think that's about it for our deep dive into Om, The Secret of Abhor Valley. It's a story that stays with you, all the mystery, the adventure, the insights.
It shows you the power of a good story, how it takes you to other places, makes you question things, leaves you thinking long after you're done reading.
We hope you enjoyed exploring this with us. Until next time, keep searching, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.